From our garden with no pesticide, Joey.
Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Ads. I'm Joey.
And I'm Tim. Whew, feels good to be behind the camera right now in a clean kitchen.
I know.
We've been doing construction all week.
We showed them last week. And I think I'll plug in pictures of the finished stuff up here so they can see it.
Yeah.
But our laundry is upstairs, is physically working. The old laundry room, future pantry, is put back together and waiting for some new cabinets. The dust is cleared. The drop cloths are up.
Yep.
Right?
The organization's better than ever. We're waiting for a couple more cabinets. So,
but it seems like we lived through that for years, but it was 13 days. Yeah.
So, in watering outside, all of a sudden, there's two huge Mexican squash.
Huge. Wait till you see them, right? We've got a few little ones, but then there's just two that had no boundaries, right?
All right, let's go outside and we'll come back in and let's make this recipe.
All right, let's head out.
Speak right.
All right, we've got this one right here, which is just huge. So I think this one's ripe for the picking for sure. Let's see if we can find another one. And I would say this one here is ready to go also. Look how big that is. That is a huge squash. And then, Tim, you can see here, we've still got some baby ones starting to grow, right? You see that over there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But going out here, this gives you an idea of how big this plant is. This is two plants that kind of just took over the planter.
Yeah, this whole thing right here is all a Mexican squash, right?
Yeah.
And then this whole thing, the whole planter is a Mexican squash, is it?
It is.
It is?
It is. So right now, you can see it looks terrible, but it's in the morning sun. The sun is pretty harsh here. It's getting water and...
All right, show us.
I've actually never seen the leaves like this before.
Show us what you got over there on the other side. We'll do a little garden update.
Oh, sure.
I can see the Swiss chard growing. We've been picking it and eating it, right?
Yes, this has been in some recipes.
So
already.
yeah, so there's and it just keeps growing so fast. So and then what do you got over here? Oh,
these peppers will go all summer long.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So this will be good. It looks like we have one that's ready, but these will just keep going and going.
Yeah.
Now over here, we've got beets. And you can see kind of on the tops, they're really small. So I'll probably be adding a little bit more of the dirt that we used when we first planted a couple months ago. These tops, remember, these are edible. These are like the perfect size right now if you want to trim some of these up. But anyway, that's the plan.
All right.
Doing really well.
All right, so let's head back in and let's see what we're gonna do with those squash. All right, so the recipe calls for 4 squash. This is probably about. Why are these so big? Is that normal?
I'm not sure. I think we could have probably picked them when they were smaller, but frankly, I didn't even see them. I think I'm watering at night, and so I don't see everything.
These are huge, so these are going to be really great. Okay, so we've got a cutting board. We need to grab a few things. I'm going to head over to the spice rack and grab the spices we need.
Okay.
All right, so what do I need here? I need, this is our spice rack right here. All of our spices categorized by country. And I need some garlic powder and some black pepper right here. These are all spices, and of course, this is all Costco. All right, let's start cooking. All right, so I think today we're gonna make calabacitas, right?
Yes.
Like what? Here's the Mexican squash right here.
Yeah, like in northern Minnesota, we didn't cook with Mexican squash, but this tastes really good. So we're gonna cut it like we do any other squash, and then pan saute it, I guess, with some onion, garlic. We'll add some roasted corn.
Yes, we'll put some fire roasted corn in.
And then let's just gonna go with our homemade pinto beans from the Instapot. This is so delicious.
Yeah, as this was going to be a side for the beans. We're not going to throw the beans in. Although I guess you could throw it all in a taco or something. But
you actually could.
Yeah.
So when we make this sauteed dish, it has all that flexibility. So it can be a side dish, or it can be the main dish with some beans. But having it ready to go in this volume, it's gonna be great for the week.
And I see you've got the Dahlstrom cleaver out. So this is the real thing.
I know this looks dangerous, but really when you're dealing with something this big, to get a solid chunk just works nice.
Let's get started cutting that up.
Okay.
And I'll be here for emotional support.
All right, I've cut my ends off.
All right, so we're like going in the garden, picking our food, and growing our own food. I feel just like High Carpana Well, without the mosquito bites.
I already have so many mosquito bites on my feet.
So we've bought Mexican squash before in the store. It didn't look this big. It was much smaller.
It never looked this big. In fact, some of those, if you're cooking on a budget, I've even seen this squash in the dollar store. So it doesn't mean it's expensive or that exotic. So
the dollar store here has produce. I know it normally doesn't where you are, but here it does. So you literally here could go to the dollar store and get your produce. So I mean that's kind of a really cool thing about living in Arizona.
Yeah.
We've only got one squash and there's no room left in the bowl. Houston, we have a problem. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I think for this recipe, we're just going to use one. Here, I'll take that.
You were throwing it out, right?
Yeah.
All right, this is why I need domestic help. All right. We just want to use one for this recipe. Well, what do we do with this?
We still have to toss it and stuff. We'll cook this after we're done here, just so we have.
All right, well, we can use that for another recipe.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got this. All right, so that's all diced up. Let me get rid of this.
Yeah. When you buy in the store, it's never going to be that big. You should see it about half that size. So to get this, you probably need 2 from the store to make this quantity.
Yeah.
So
let's do an onion, and we got to cut that up.
Okay. All right, so while I'm cutting this, anything else to share?
No, we're on summer vacation. I feel like I'm busier than I've ever been. I can't wait to go back to work so I can get back to my normal routine. Like, holy smoke. Yeah. I feel like a truck hit me. Like, I'm so wiped out.
But at the same time, it's been kind of nice to get things done that you put off for a while. We were just talking about that yesterday.
You go to work and come back and they're done. What are you talking about? It's been a lot of work for me. I've been working nonstop at this house doing the remodel. I've been doing I've got this evolution course for the Museum of Natural History that I'm trying to finish. It's one of my last 6 courses for my degree. I'm also doing a zoology course at the same time. And now I've got to take Lexx driving this week. He needs to get his license.
So we're going to toss this in?
Yep, toss it in.
1 full onion.
All right. It's like cooking with April. Alright, and let's put in 1 clove of garlic. We're going to add some garlic powder, but I think, is this good? You want to smell it? Yes. It doesn't look good, does it?
It's not going to get cooked.
It said 1 clove. We've never used 1 clove of garlic, ever. Yeah. Careful.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to use some corn in this recipe.
Yes, this goes great together. So we have fresh corn. I like cutting this off the cob like for a taco or something like that. But I think for this, we want flavor.
Yeah.
And we're going to be with pinto beans. So I'm going to go with this roasted corn. It's yellow from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's fire roasted corn. Anytime it's a corn recipe, we throw this in. I love my corn to be a little fire roasted, don't you think?
Yeah, I just think it adds flavor in. But if you don't really like that and you want just the sweet corn, they have that as well. Or again, off the fresh cob. So.
All right, hey, do you know how much you're putting in?
I think I was going to put like a half this.
I think half that bag, yeah. It's a good idea. I think that's good. All right, so we've kind of got this all chopped up and ready to go. These are our veggies, so we're just going to set this aside. I think we'll pull out the burner and we'll get started with the saute.
Sounds great, yeah. All right, looks like we're ready to saute.
Yeah, so let's put this on. I've got a little bit of water here. Let's turn this on here, the hot pot, and we just do like a medium high. So we're gonna throw some water in here because we're not using oil, obviously. And we'll let that come up to temperature. It'll take a minute, then we'll stop sauteing.
Sounds good. About midway through this, we're gonna add all the spices. So if you're wondering, you forgot the garlic powder or pepper.
Well, at this point, we're just doing the saute.
Yeah.
So
now, this Calabacitas, this mixture that we're making, can be used in enchiladas or it can be made into tacos, like we talked about, right? So if you wanted a little bit more pepper flavor, you could add some roasted chilies to just saute around, but we're just doing this very, I think, basic, full flavor.
Just a side dish type of thing.
But if you wanted, you could.
Yeah, and the corn's in there. You kind of have a 50-50 plate right here. I think, although that's not really enough corn, but
we'll go with the pinto beans.
I think it'd be perfect with the pinto beans, yeah. To me, this calls for burrito, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you can see the water starting to steam here. So let's dump this in here. And we're going to need a spatula.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to kind of move that around. And we're going to let this cook for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. All right, while this is cooking.
So I don't know if you've checked it out, but I am the new CTE Teacher of the Year. Have you heard about this? Obviously you have.
I have.
Yes. So somehow I got, well, it's all on Sophomore Swag. If you go up to Sophomore Swag, there's a whole video on this. I was nominated by one of the people that I work with, Pam, my director. I absolutely love her. She saw all I was doing this year, and she put me in for this award. I didn't think I would get it, and I wound up winning it. So my first year of teaching, I became the new CTE Teacher of the Year. Pretty exciting. There's a video on Sophomore Swag, so go check that out, and it tells you all about it, right? April's got a new video up, and it's all about, she tries every Aloha plant-based protein bar. So you don't have to, right? Okay. And she goes through each one and tells you the ingredients and what she thinks about it. There's a link to her channel right here, and you can check out that video. It's actually pretty well done, and there's a lot of information there. And she talks about how she wouldn't eat protein bars every day, but if you have to have one, like, here are the ones you want to have, right?
So we haven't even added any spices, right? But I can smell this, and it smells so good.
I can smell
this fragrance.
It's like the corn's activating. Like, you can smell the corn for sure, right? Yeah. Actually, you can smell it all.
I know we put a little bit of garlic in, but I don't know. I'm excited though.
We're using our Dalstrong saute pan. This one has really tall sides. I absolutely love this pan. It can hold anything, and it just works amazingly on the Rose Wheel induction burner.
Yeah, even though we're not using oil, sautés with the water, it's fine.
Yeah. So Dalstrong, again, thank you for supplying us with knives and with silverware, with pots and pans. We absolutely appreciate it. So I think my friend Vahavna from work, she's Indian, we're gonna get together at her house this summer, and hopefully you can find time, and we're gonna cook something, right? I just said, hey, are you interested in maybe getting together and doing a cooking video together? You know what her response was? Yeah, baby! That was her response. So I think she's looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it too, because I love me some Indian food, right? So this
we all love it.
I know this would be a great opportunity to jump into that. Okay, so let's grab some spices. We're gonna put
This is softening up, so it's time to add some spice here.
We're gonna put a teaspoon of salt in.
So we'll get some minerals here with the Himalayan salts. Now we're adding some garlic powder.
So a half a teaspoon of that.
Okay.
And then about a half a teaspoon. We can just eyeball that.
Yeah.
And you can't have too much pepper for me. I love pepper.
While we're cooking here, I can't help but think this is Mexican squash. So, like a long time ago, there's a combination called the Three Sisters. And I know. And Native Americans used to plant the corn stalk, the squash, and then they had a bean that grew up as a vine.
They would plant it all on top of each other.
Together,
Right? Yeah.
right. Yep.
Those were the Three Sisters, right?
That's the Three Sisters. So sometimes when I cook with, we've got squash here, we've got corn going on, we're going to put it with pinto beans, it reminds me of the Three Sisters. Now, the bean they used was a drought-tolerant plant called tapari.
Yes.
And we have tapari beans. I think it's white and the red that they come in. So, anyway, just a little bit of history if you didn't know that.
Not to be confused with your Three Sisters, right?
Yes.
Tanya, Vicky, and Sheila.
That's right. Smelling so good.
It smells amazing. I can't wait to eat this. Yeah. This is going to be a perfect pairing with the pinto beans. And a tortilla shell.
If you didn't want to use beans, I could see little chunks of potato in here being so good. And then putting that in a little shell, or
I can see throwing black beans right in this too.
Okay,
that would look fantastic.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see we're at that 10-minute mark.
So 20 overall,
20
and it
overall.
is looking good. Like, it's not even sticking. Like, it's cooked. When you're sautéing correctly, you should not have stickage, right?
Yeah, this is not a non-stick pan. This is stainless steel. So at this point, it is al dente. It is good for right now, and it will also be good when we warm it up.
Yeah.
If you want something softer, you can go a little bit longer, but this is perfect right now.
I just say that it's perfect the way it is. All right, let's shut this down. Let's get it off this thing, and we're gonna plate it up and show you what we do with it.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's just take some of this calabacitas here, and you can see here we've got our plate, right, with some beans in it.
Yes.
I'm just gonna take the calabacitas and kind of put it right next to the beans. And this will give me a nice, healthy Mexican lunch or dinner here, right? I want to make sure there's plenty of it. There we go.
There's a sweetness to this. I don't get that this is like a Mexican restaurant feel, but you could make it go that direction. But no, it's not. It's pretty neutral. So this is just flavor. There's some spice, but also sweetness from the corn.
Yeah, looks great. All right.
Well, thanks for plating this up. This looks awesome.
Fantastic. I mean, take a look at this right here. You've got the beans, you've got the calabacitas. Look at how yellow that corn is. We did leave the seeds in the zucchini, in the calabas and the Mexican squash, because I feel like you need the whole thing. Oh man.
The problem with this dish outside of home here is that they use oil, and it's so oily. This is one of the things I see at work, and I want it, but I just see it glistening, like with oil. But this is
It's delicious.
I'm not missing anything
It's so good.
by not having any oil. So,
Oh my God.
all right, let's try it with the beans here.
I already ate the beans. They're delicious. I love this bean. Yeah, people who make this recipe online, they'll email me and they'll be like, "These are the best beans I've ever had." In the Instapot, right?
I know, but even on its own like this, so good.
So good. The corn flavor goes so well with the Mexican squash, right? It's a great pairing.
It is.
Wow.
I don't know if I want any of this on anything else to hide this flavor in a taco or something like.
I could be talked into a burrito with
This is good. So I thought today went really well. This is a dish you can make ahead, have in the refrigerator for multiple things. So this is a good meal prep recipe as well.
This is a great, simple dish, and it works on the Mary's Mini. If you're doing a corn mini, if you're not doing a corn mini, leave the corn out, and then it's just a side dish on any of the starches, right?
Yeah.
So this is a great mini dish. All right. Ready to say goodbye?
Yeah.
All right, that's our video for today. An amazing side dish of Calabacitas. Hit that like button, show us some love. Click on the subscribe button. You'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Tuesday. That's right. And leave a comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are. Have you had Calabacitas before? Have you ever seen Mexican squash that big before? I mean, this is garden to table, right? All right, anything you want to say?
This is a win.
This is a win. All right, we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.